The air hung heavy with the coppery tang of blood. It was a scent that Detective James Holloway had become all too familiar with over the years. The night was eerily silent, save for the distant hum of the city that never truly slept. The mist curled around the alleyway like a living entity, adding to the sense of foreboding that permeated the scene. Streams of crimson snaked across the cold tiles, reflecting the flashing blue and red lights. The stark contrast of the blood against the white tiles was a grim reminder of the violence that had taken place. The police lights cast an almost surreal glow, making the scene look like something out of a nightmare. Detective James Holloway, his face etched with exhaustion and grim determination, surveyed the scene. Another victim, another life snuffed out by the elusive killer known only as Fury. Holloway's eyes, though tired, burned with a fierce resolve. He had been chasing this shadow for months, and each new crime scene only fueled his determination to bring the killer to justice. Another cryptic message scrawled in blood on the wall. The words were smeared and barely legible, but their meaning was clear. Fury was playing a game, and he was always one step ahead. The message was a taunt, a cruel reminder of the killer's intelligence and his ability to evade capture. Holloway ran a hand through his thinning hair, his eyes tracing the intricate patterns of the victim's blood. Each drop seemed to tell a story of pain and suffering. The detective knew that every detail, no matter how small, could be a clue, but the patterns were as enigmatic as the killer himself, offering no clear answers. The message, like the others, was a riddle, a taunt. It was as if Fury was daring them to catch him, mocking their efforts with each new crime. The words twisted and turned in Holloway's mind, a puzzle that he couldn't quite piece together. He knew that somewhere within the chaos, there was a key to unlocking the killer's identity. It offered no solace, no clue to the killer's identity. The alleyway, now empty and silent, seemed to echo with the unspoken questions that haunted Holloway's thoughts. Who was Fury? What drove him to commit such heinous acts? And most importantly, how could he be stopped? Only a chilling reminder of his power. The shadowy figure that had been glimpsed by witnesses was like a ghost, always vanishing before anyone could get a clear look. Fury was a master of disguise, blending into the darkness and striking without warning. His presence was a constant looming threat, a dark cloud that hung over the city. His name, whispered in hushed tones by the other officers, hung in the air: Fury. The name itself was a testament to the fear he instilled in both the public and the police force. It was a name that carried weight, a name that promised violence and chaos. As Holloway stood alone in the dim light, he made a silent vow. He would not rest until Fury was brought to justice, no matter the cost. For 6 long months, Fury had cast a long shadow over the city. 6 months of fear and uncertainty. His victims were as varied as the stars, with no apparent connection, no shared profession, no similar demographics. The only commonality, the brutal efficiency of their murders and the cryptic messages left behind. Fury was a phantom, moving unseen, striking without warning. He was a nightmare made flesh, a chilling embodiment of the city's darkest fears. Each new victim, each bloody message, only deepened the mystery and intensified the pressure on Holloway and his team. Evelyn Carter, a young librarian with a shock of red hair and eyes that held the wisdom of ages, became a beacon of hope in the city's darkness. She was the first to survive Fury's attack. Left for dead, she clung to life, her will a flickering flame refusing to be extinguished. Evelyn's survival was a turning point. Finally, they had someone who could shed light on the darkness, who could look into the abyss and live to tell the tale. Her testimony was their only hope of understanding the mind of a monster and ending his reign of terror. Section 4. Whispers from the Abyss, the Taunting Messages. Evelyn's memory of that night was fragmented, a kaleidoscope of fear and pain. Yet she remembered his eyes, cold and calculating, devoid of humanity. She remembered the chilling whisper of her name, a serpent's hiss in the darkness. And then, the messages began. Letters delivered to her bedside, each one a twisted poem, a chilling serenade from her would-be killer. Fury taunted her with his knowledge, reveled in her fear. He was playing a macabre game, and Evelyn was the unwilling pawn. Section 5. The fortress crumbles, a breach in security. The police established a fortress around Evelyn's hospital room. Armed guards stood watch outside her door, their faces grim, their eyes constantly scanning the hallways. But Fury was a ghost, a phantom who moved unseen, unheard. One by one, he neutralized the guards, leaving behind a trail of fear and confusion. He slipped past their defenses, a shadow in the night, and entered Evelyn's room. The chilling message, scrawled in blood on the wall, sent shivers down Holloway's spine. You can't protect her. Section 6. Shadows Converge, the Final Confrontation. The city was a labyrinth of shadows and secrets, a place where the line between hunter and hunted blurred with every passing moment. As the sun dipped below the horizon, the cityscape transformed into a canvas of darkness, each shadow a potential threat, each alleyway a path to the unknown. Evelyn's survival had given them a lead. She had emerged from the darkness, battered but unbroken, her spirit a beacon of hope in the grim reality they faced. Her determination was palpable, a force that drove them forward even as the odds seemed insurmountable. Fury's obsession with her was his undoing. His fixation had blinded him, made him careless. In his relentless pursuit, he had left behind a trail of clues, each one a piece of the puzzle that would ultimately lead to his downfall. His anger, once a weapon, had become his greatest weakness. Hidden within his cryptic messages were clues, breadcrumbs leading to his lair. Each note, each symbol, was a step closer to uncovering the truth. The detective's mind raced, piecing together the fragments of Fury's twisted game. The walls of his office were covered in these cryptic messages, a testament to the lengths he would go to catch his prey. Following a trail of fear and desperation, Holloway found himself staring at an abandoned warehouse, the city's skyline a jagged silhouette against the dying light. The warehouse stood as a monument to the decay and corruption that had seeped into the very fabric of the city. It was here, in this forsaken place, that the final confrontation would unfold. The air was thick with the stench of decay and the promise of violence. Every step Holloway took echoed through the empty halls, a reminder of the silence that had settled over this place. The walls, once vibrant with life, were now a canvas of grime and neglect, each crack and crevice a testament to the passage of time. As Holloway entered the building, the shadows seemed to reach out, their touch icy and foreboding. The darkness was almost tangible, a living entity that seemed to breathe and shift with every movement. He could feel the weight of the past pressing down on him, the memories of those who had come before him lingering in the air. He knew, with a certainty that chilled him to the bone, that he had finally cornered his prey. The realization hit him like a tidal wave, a mix of relief and dread washing over him. This was the moment he had been preparing for, the culmination of months of relentless pursuit. The final confrontation was at hand, and there was no turning back. Section 7. The Mask of Fury, A chilling revelation. The warehouse was a labyrinth of shadows and secrets. Each corner seemed to whisper tales of hidden truths and forgotten memories. The air was thick with tension, as if the very walls were holding their breath, waiting for the inevitable confrontation. Holloway moved cautiously, his hand hovering near his gun, his senses on high alert. Every creak of the floorboards, every rustle of the wind outside, sent shivers down his spine. He knew he was not alone, but the darkness played tricks on his mind, making him question every shadow and every sound. The silence was unnerving, broken only by the sound of his own breathing and the distant drip of water. It was as if the warehouse itself was alive, its heartbeat echoing in the stillness. Holloway's pulse quickened, matching the rhythm of the dripping water, each drop a reminder of the passage of time and the urgency of his mission. And then he saw him. A shadowy figure, barely discernible in the dim light, standing at the far end of the warehouse. The figure was motionless, almost as if it was waiting for Holloway to make the first move. The detective's heart raced as he tried to make out the features of the figure, but the darkness kept its secrets well. Standing in a pool of light, his back to Holloway, was Fury. The light cast long, eerie shadows, making the figure appear larger and more menacing. Holloway's grip tightened on his gun, his mind racing with thoughts of how this confrontation would end. He had been chasing Fury for months, and now, finally, they were face to face. As he turned, Holloway gasped. The face that met his eyes was not the monstrous visage he had imagined. It was human, all too human, and it sent a chill down his spine. The realization hit him like a freight train, leaving him momentarily paralyzed with shock. It wasn't a monster, wasn't a demon that stood before him. It was a man, flesh and blood, with eyes that held a story of their own. The eyes were familiar, too familiar, and Holloway's mind raced to piece together the puzzle that was rapidly unfolding before him. It was a face he knew, a face he trusted. The betrayal cut deep, like a knife to the heart. How could someone so close, so trusted, be the very person he had been hunting? The revelation was both chilling and heartbreaking, a cruel twist of fate that left Holloway reeling. The mask of Fury had fallen, revealing a chilling truth. The man behind the mask was not a stranger, but a friend, a confidant. The weight of the revelation pressed down on Holloway, making it hard to breathe. The lines between good and evil blurred, leaving him questioning everything he thought he knew. The chilling revelation was not just about the identity of Fury, but about the darkness that can reside in the hearts of those we trust the most.